in the shape of his life, says Soy, but I think Mo Farah may well, if he was writing a little essay about how things are at the moment, he might just say something similar. The double Olympic champion attempting to become the double world champion. Alamaru thought that he could outkick him in Birmingham. It was a rehearsal, and it didn't work. And Farah kicked him there, and if they didn't learn that leaving it to the end is playing into his hands, then, well, fool them. Longasiwa is quick, and he was in the finish, he was in the mix in London. He was a little far back, didn't quite get himself in the right position. Gebruet, huge talent, this young man, the world junior record holder at 5,000 metres, has already run 12:47. That's much quicker than Farah has run for this distance. Koech, another big talent, just 19 years of age. He ran 12:48 last year. But it's not times that win you gold medals. It's craft, it's being in the right place at the right time. Lagat knows how to do that. Young Edris on the inside, will he be a factor? Men's 5,000 metre final. So here we go again. 12.5 laps. Mo Farah with increasing expectation on his shoulders. Every championship that he wins, every gold medal he collects, it just heaps more pressure on the next one. Doesn't make it any easier. You start every race like everybody else at the start line. And Brent, my old coach, used to say, nobody gives you a head start because of your reputation.
That's exactly right. But Bernard Lagat, the wise old man, the 38-year-old, 36 seconds for the first 200 metres. He darted to the front, and he's only there for one reason, and that's to slow it down. And he's effectively done that in the first 200 metres, but that's not going to last very long. Galen Rupp in second, third place there, and Mo just on Galen's shoulder. And this is, for the moment, feeling like a training run. The pace of it is probably slower than they do on a training run. But Isaiah Koech, the 19-year-old Kenyan, Longasiwa, the more experienced athlete, Olympic medalist, both of them now drift to the front, one lap behind them, 71 seconds, and that's a little thank you from Mo. Thank you very much. That was slow. You know, when you're in a race, when you've got the confidence that speed gives you, Steve, you know, to run the time you ran, faster than you ran, for 1,500 metres, and you're a 5 and 10,000 metre runner, the confidence that comes from that is absolutely enormous. He was staggered at how fast he ran, and a 50-point time, as his wife takes, she wasn't being confident in the BBC's coverage, she's trying to do it herself, I think, but record it back home and you'll be able to watch it. But now the race is beginning to start.
Yeah, just been keeping an eye on this. That's Koech at the front, and he wouldn't have minded when he first drifted to the front. Then he was joined by Longasiwa. Soy stayed back, and Mo at the moment is holding back. And this is interesting. We weren't expecting them to go hard from the start. It was a slow first lap. Koech is a brilliant athlete, brilliant young athlete, as I said. So leading them out. Longasiwa's latched on the back of him, and then slowly but surely the others are starting to close up and to give chase. Galen Rupp there just behind Lagat. And then Mo Farah much further back. And look at Gebruet, he's thinking, oh, go on, you should be catching up, but I've been told to stay behind you. I've been told to stay behind Mo Farah. I've been told to hang on to Mo Farah. And Farah just being patient, and why not? I mean, although Koech went off there at the front, you know, that's a long run from home, and I don't think there was any sense. What we might be seeing here, Brendan, is more of a surgy sort of race, which is another way of tiring people out.
It is a way of tiring people out. Mo Farah with the confidence just to sit in the third group. A 61-second lap there, the second one. But unless you keep them going, unless you pile them on top of one another, a 61-second lap's doing more damage to you if you're just going to slow down after it, because then the other guys have gauged their pace. They haven't bothered with a 61-second lap, and they've just drifted off the back of it. Alamaru, he's another danger. I think Longasi was going to be a danger. The young Ethiopian Edris is in there too, and it's good to see an Australian athlete in that field. 65 there, so the 61's ineffective. They've started jogging, and once again, Mo's done nothing at all, and the gaps have closed for him. So, like 1,000 metres behind us, 4,000 metres now, and the race hasn't even started. And to be honest with you, that's when confidence is important. Some athletes get nervous when they're not running as fast as they want to be, as they expect to be. And they talk about team races, and they talk about tactics, and at the end of the day, there's a little bit of thing in athletics for me. There's safety in numbers. You've got to be brave to go out on your own. None of them have decided they're going to try it. None of them are confident enough to try and run away from Mo Farah. 9 laps to go.
Yes, that confidence that Mo showed in his own ability as Soy comes around the outside this time, and this certainly seems like it might be a bit of a tactic here, this idea to go slow, go fast, go slow, go fast. But as Brendan said, you really got to sustain it for more than one lap, because a little nudge on the shoulder there, and as Edris comes through, as if to say, right, this one's for real, guys. I did mention, Brendan, at the start of the programme, you know, Edris is the same manager as Soy and Longasiwa. Everyone assumes it's always Kenya versus Ethiopia. Well, when you're on the circuit, it's not like that at all. And Edris just drifted to the front there, but nothing really happening. This is all just feeling each other out. It's like boxers dancing around each other in the early rounds, just slinging the odd punch, but not really going for it.
The only tactic that's emerged to me in this event is that Gebriwet has decided that he's going to follow Mo Farah every step of the way. So Gebriwet in the green vest of Ethiopia. Mo's moved up to third from the back, fifth from the back. He's moved up to fourth from the back. Mo's beginning to get moving on the outside, and Gebriwet's beginning to get moving on the outside. And Edris, his teammate, the young Ethiopian, not doing anything special at all. And the more the laps tick down, the more the pace stays slow. And Mo Farah now at the front, but he's not there for a reason other than to control the race and to keep it slow. 68 seconds, 2,000 metres gone. It's a 3,000 metre race.
And he likes to do this, doesn't it? This is familiar. He goes to the front in the early stages just to almost remind everybody he's there. They've had a few little exchanges on the first few laps. He just comes and says, here I am, guys. The race hasn't started yet. I'm just going to slow it down a little bit. If you let me, they're letting him do exactly that. The land on the outside, Quedge. And this is when, when you get to the stature of somebody like Mo Farah, when you have other people worried about you, scared about what you can do, when you are the big name, when you're the Usain Bolt of your event, people allow you to do things they shouldn't allow you to do. And that's what they're doing here. They're letting him go to the front, slow it down.
But to stop him doing that, you need an awful lot of confidence in your own ability, and you need to measure your confidence against his confidence. But you know, it is tea time in England. He did tell us to sit back and relax, chill out, have a cup of tea. That was his message to people watching this event. Well, they're probably having a cup of tea, and the news is this race is going Mo Farah's way. The slower in the earlier stages, the better for Mo, even though, in my mind, if they made it really quick, it wouldn't trouble him too much. But 2,400 metres completed, a 69-second lap. So Mo's intention is pretty clear, and it was just to keep it slow, keep it steady, and let them worry about him.
Don't be surprised if Koech is the first to break. He's been near the front. You can see there's probably a game plan hatching in his mind, which is about, 5 laps out, 4 laps out. He's looking at the scoreboard. It says 6 laps to go. Mo Farah is inside. Soy just tucked on the inside as well. Edris is there. Longasiwa a little bit behind him. Lagat lurking now. And the two better Ethiopians just very close as well. Anamaru and Gebriwet. But there's a big... Well, of course there's a big pack because it's been so slow. Nobody tailed off at this point. And not long now, Brendan. There'll only be 2,000 metres to go.
This is brilliant for Mo Farah. Less than 6 laps to go for Mo Farah. And they've been running at 14 minutes and 10 pace. And I promise you, that is a lot slower than they run in training. And there he says, there you are. You can take it on if you want to. That's Koech of Kenya. The Australian running well alongside him, but you've got to be running well at this point.
So Coates just stretching it a little bit. Gallant of South Africa on Farah's shoulder. Lagat realising that this might be it. 5 laps to go. Is this a bit of an attempt to wind things up from Coates? His head goes down a little bit. And if you are going to go, you've got to go hard. It can't be half-hearted. You cannot play at this. You've got to put your foot down. Trust in your fitness. Trust in your ability. Trust in your strength. So Coates starts to put his foot down. Everybody behind is realising. Edris moves out very quickly to follow in behind him. Mo Farah right there, of course. Soy moving up. Longasiwa on the inside. So the Kenyans to the fore. Lagat now moving up for the USA. The other Ethiopian's been a little slower to respond. Let's see what this lap is. Well, that was a 62, but it really started it's been only about 300 metres of foot down.
I think that's right. And I think this is now an effort, because when it comes to 5 laps to go, if you're thinking about making committed effort yourself, you can't go all the way, but you can go from 5 laps out. This is a distance where these men train 2,000 metre repetitions on the track. They know exactly what kind of pace to run at. He's trying to make a move. Here comes Galen Rupp on the outside, and as soon as Mo saw Galen, he decided that was time. 4 laps to go. This is where you can make brave energy and make brave efforts. Save your energy. Just settle down. Don't do too much yet. And it's about confidence. It's about not getting tripped, and there's a little bit of an incident there. We don't want any of that. We want a true run last couple of laps. It's going to be a fast last mile here, and Mo is absolutely in the right place.
And the next bit they'll want to try and do, if they can, is to rough him up a little bit, to try and get ahead of him. And that's what Alamaru did, but the others are sitting where they normally do. So he's very, very close to Mo Farah. And Mo's realising he's just got to be aware here and just keep himself on the outside. Galen Rupp, his partner's on the inside. It's not perhaps the best place to be at this point. Coates is already looking a bit tired. Alamaru relaxed. Gabriel tucked in the pack, about 4 places behind Mo Farah, but Mo's got himself out here, and they know what he's going to try and do. When they get into the last 1,000 metres, Mo Farah will want to try and get to the front. You've all seen it yourselves. We've seen it. We know it. They know it too.
Gabriel knows it extremely well. He's following him beautifully. Mo Farah is in the right place. Less than 3 laps to go. Nothing's happened in this race at all. And now it begins to mount. The pace begins to pick up. 62 seconds for that last lap. And I'm getting more confident. There's some good talent around Mo Farah. There's some good sprinters amongst this lot. But confidence and the speed we've seen from Mo Farah. Bernard Lagat, the only man in this field who's ever run faster than 1,500 metres than Mo Farah. But he hasn't done it for a long, long time. Mo's done it so recently. There he is now, and it looks down the finishing straight.
Less than 1,000 metres to go. Alamaru leading, but he's only there because he wants to try and stop Mo Farah getting to the front. You can see what his tactic is. He's slowing it there. And look at this. As soon as Farah tries, he's going to try and hold him off. He tried to do this in Birmingham. Now we've got Soy in there behind him. Look at Gabriel. He's going to try and help his mate. Mo tries again, and Alamaru holds him off again. Now Gabriel's right on his shoulder. Longasiwa's in there. Soy's just been blocked off a little bit behind Edris, the other Ethiopian. He's 5 metres behind Mo Farah, and the race is really on now.
This is an 800-metre race. And the thing about 800-metre races, you've got to choose your position, you've got to follow your tactics. And there goes Mo Farah. That's his first effort. And it's going to have to be enough. Now he's in the pole position. Now with 600 metres to go, this is where he likes to be. And his tactics from here are simply to hold off any attacks. Keep it steady. Keep a few bursts of speed available to you. Allow yourself to have the opportunity to sprint when you're challenged. And he's only got one tactic now. He's got to hold them up at every opportunity.
Farah leading. Alamaru is there. Longasiwa is there. Coates coming around the outside, goes past Soy. He won't be happy about that. Lagat is still there, the American. And Gabriel went in there. Coates now on the shoulder of Farah.
Well, the double Olympic champion is on his way to glory if he can just hold himself in the right place. Hold on off, Mo Farah. You've got to keep battling. You've got to respond at every time there, but you don't use it all in the back straight. Save some of it for the bend. Save some of it for the finishing straight itself. Mo's controlling this. He's not absolutely flat out yet. He's running, he's relaxing, he's coasting. He looks magnificent. He's got this chance.
Mo Farah with Coates on his shoulder. Longasiwa is there. Lagat within striking distance. Have any of them got the ammunition? Have any of them got the Another incredible performance from Mo Farah. His 5th global title. That's a fistful of gold. That was hard. That was really, really hard. It's not getting any easier, but it's just as sweet. It's just as brilliant. And I, for one, will never get used to this. We are in special times, Brendan, with a special athlete.
We are in special times, Steve, with an outstanding athlete. After that victory tonight, you know, twice Olympic champion, 3 times world champion, you have to say that Mo Farah, for my money, becomes the greatest athlete we've ever had in this country. And I think Paula Radcliffe is waiting upstairs. Paula, you must be so excited there watching Mo Farah. You've known him since he was a kid. You've helped him along the line. He put himself in the front and he just would not let them pass.
No, exactly. I mean, I'm so proud of him. I think he was probably the only person of all of us who, throughout that race, just totally believed and had confidence in what he was going to do. Because there was a few times there when I was really worried. Once we got into the last 80 metres, then I was more relaxed. But here, he really, really had to work to get to where he wanted to be. He wasn't